We can't unf the video, and that's a quote. Kit Guru is with Corsair at Computex 2023. They've actually built a studio for people to do video content. This is just remarkable. We are so impressed. Well done, Corsair. Matt, come in and look at these products. On the page on kitguru.net, you will see a number of products in Matt's photos. There's also cases and such like that we've recently reviewed. But in essence, Corsair has two things on show. One is IQ Link. The other is this Corsair Dominator Titanium memory. But those two things are significant things. IQ Link. If you've ever built a PC using Corsair hardware, you'll be familiar with hardware such as this. You have one of their commander hubs. This, I think, is an XT unit. And you can plug in your fans using proprietary connectors. We don't much like proprietary connectors. One connector handles RGB, the other does PWM. And the fans have loads of cables, and one hub plus one fan gives you a bit of clutter. When you're up to 6 or 9 or whatever fans, the clutter gets unbelievable. This has been answered with IQ Link. IQ Link addresses the cable clutter issue. This is a system we saw in prototype form at CES back in January of this year. It is now complete. It is a finished product. Corsair has set up this stream deck to control the lighting in this build. I press the static button, and now the fans appear to stop, but they're not. The fans themselves are rotating. It's the lighting pattern that has been synchronized with the speed of the fans. They appear to be stationary, even though they're not. We go clockwise, and we go counterclockwise. We are, of course, looking at the back of the fans at the moment. We can explain all this if we go around the other side of the PC. And now we're looking at the pretty side of the fans. You can see them are rotating the wrong way. Here we have static, and now we're going clockwise. While it's a neat party trick, the essence of IQ Link is this control unit. Replacing every control unit and hub that Corsair's ever had, we have this unit here, which has 2 connectors plus power and USB. The important point is that this connector can daisy chain off to all the devices, so you only need a connection which is going to handle absolutely everything, not only PWM and RGB, but also, for example, temperature sensing. The connection point for the cables is there, and we have one on the opposite side of the frame. Bearing in mind, you don't necessarily know how you're going to connect your fan into your system. And then if we look here, in the vane that supports the central motor, we can see a thermistor. Every fan that supports this technology can monitor temperature. We have a hub which acts as a communication device, so you can plug in the power and the cables. You can then daisy chain together your fans, which have become smart devices. They have intelligence within them, and the data travels in both directions. At the center of the system, we have Corsair's IQ software. So the idea is that the devices talk intelligently to IQ, reporting through the hub down their cables. And as a result, IQ knows what the devices are. It understands their capabilities. It understands how they're rotating, what the temperature might be of your PC. If you've got liquid cooling hardware, it understands the temperature of the coolant and the speed of the pump. Also, of course, it can control RGB lighting. This is bidirectional. It means the devices talk to IQ. IQ doesn't have to be told by us that today we're using QL fans or whatever. It understands what the devices are. It loads the modules that you require into IQ, currently on version 5.1. When they moved to 5, the software changed significantly. That was a couple of weeks ago. The devices tell IQ what they are and their capabilities, and then the software controls them, controls fan speed, lighting patterns and such like. And the idea with the thermistors in the fans is that you can map temperature throughout your PC. I'm assuming that Corsair is going to have preset profiles such as balanced that will simply take account of what the airflow is doing through your case and will handle the job for you as a one-click operation. Confident that will be the case. This unit can handle, and it's a bizarre number, 168 watts of power. There's no power conversion going on inside this device. It's a pass-through, so it doesn't get the least bit hot. The sample that we were shown at CES was cool to the touch, and the same is true of the devices in this build here. It seems like an excellent system. It might be that daisy chaining together, say, a dozen devices isn't enough devices for you, in which case your AIO may come with a four-way splitter like this, or you may get a Y cable splitter. From what we've seen, Corsair's thought about all the obvious pitfalls. Features such as the magnetic joining of these fans are fun and we like them. The construction actually seems incredibly hefty, but clearly from our point of view as tech geeks, the thermistor is the thing. We're expecting that Corsair, when they announce pricing for all these products, so far it's a closely guarded secret, but we're expecting this technology is going to carry a premium in the order of 20%. If we bring into shot this updated Hydro X pump reservoir unit, you can see this looks very significantly different to the earlier versions. Sadly, they don't have one to hand. The housing is aluminium rather than plastic. We have an LCD display, and of course the new iQ software controls both the display output and also the RGB lighting, as well as the pump itself. Corsair Dominator Titanium memory. This is an update to Platinum. It's mainly aesthetic. In terms of performance, Platinum has already pretty much got it all. In this instance, the tops can be removed. Say you take off this dull top like this, and you install a top that's been, in this case, created by a modder. We suspect this is by Alex Banks. We covered some of his work at Thermaltake yesterday. It might not be Alex, but whoever's done it, it looks absolutely glorious. Now that's an engraved, machined piece of metal, but we've seen plenty of examples already of Dominator Titanium with some quite stunning RGB patterns. This is an interesting approach, and we're not going to argue about an aesthetic take on high-end DDR5 memory. You can, of course, also, if you choose, remove the top, and now you have DDR5 memory, LPX, well, relatively speaking, LPX low profile. It's medium height. We like this. At the moment, we have no idea on pricing, and we're fairly confident it's going to be terrifying.
We're here with Elgato at Computex 2023 in Corsair's lovely suite, looking at some quite big and significant changes to the Elgato app. There is going to be an update released in June for iOS devices only, which adds quite a lot of key functionality. There's also some big changes coming to the subscription model, and they're introducing a lifetime license for around £30, $35. The main additions to the app: you can now choose how many buttons you want on whatever screen. You can have up to 8x8 is the maximum, which will look pretty crazy on an iPhone, but if you've got something big like this iPad, then it's perfect. You can also have a split view, which in essence gives you two Stream Decks, virtual Stream Decks, on your iPad or tablet or whatever. Android support is coming later this year, so this adds a lot of functionality for those of you that want a Stream Deck without actually buying a Stream Deck, and you've got an iPad like this, you've basically got a Stream Deck already. So another big update to Stream Deck, this time from the Corsair side of things, is the launch of an official iQ plugin that will work natively on Stream Deck. This is already available, and it released yesterday, I believe. As you can see from the screen, we've got Stray playing, and the lighting on the wall behind is reacting live to the lighting on the screen. That's really nice to see. Also, there are buttons available for switching between different lighting modes connected to the murals found within iQ. Also, there's hardware support where you can see the vCPU, any temperatures, the amount of sensors within iQ, whatever you can see within iQ software, you can now add to Stream Deck and monitor on the fly on your desk in front of your face.
To recap, Corsair's iQ software has passed version 5. I have it on my own personal build at home. If you use Corsair hardware or peripherals, you've probably already got the new version of iQ yourself and will have noticed it is just different. It installs the modules you require. It's a completely different look and feel, but of course you won't have seen it working with the iQ Link hardware. This is the new part of the system. Genuinely exciting. We saw it back in January, and it's now ready for action. I am crossing my fingers metaphorically about pricing because we don't know that yet. Sure, it's going to be a little bit steep. The updates to Hydro X hardware with aluminium rather than plastic, that's good. Functionally, it doesn't make a lot of odds. That's an aesthetic thing. This is mainly about aesthetics, but the functionality of these fans, in particular the thermistor that's built into each fan unit. Sadly, I'm genuinely excited by that. The memory I like, but a thermistor in a fan has won Leo's heart at Computex 2023. That's us done at Corsair, and we're signing off.